Hey guys, please like and subscribe if you like the content. Also, check out some of my reviews of some Star Wars content from Disney, as well as I have a sequel re-edit that I wrote and put online for you to enjoy. And feel free to check that out. And let's get into this. So I'm gonna brag a little bit today. I'm gonna talk about myself a little bit and just trying to get a handle on this whole Fandom Menace thing. I think it's dying down, but you guys tell me what you think in the comment section after you finish watching. I put a poll out on Twitter because I get a lot of like feedback from people where they're like, "Oh, you're another Fandom Menace," and I have people that have anti Fandom Menace accounts on Twitter, and they respond to some of the things that I say, and so I thought, oh, let's see what people really think. So I put a poll out: Am I, based on my tweets, part of the Fandom Menace? And I guess in this case, I would also include my YouTube videos. Am I part of the Fandom Menace? And I've been trying to define what the Fandom Menace is. Now, I did the poll, and about 60-40 said no. And there were some people that said yes, but they responded to me by saying that I'm different. I'm not in the same ilk, but I'm part of it in that I'm demanding higher quality from the Star Wars IP. So based on all of that, I kind of thought about it, and I thought, maybe I should post some of the stuff, some of the responses. So here's some of the responses from people. It's been really positive, and people are telling me I'm different, and I'm not really part of that, and that's really good. And it seems like the reason for that is that I'm not getting too into the social political end of it, and that doesn't mean that I'm saying that everything that some of these guys that are considered Fandom Menace, whether it's the Ryan Kinnells or Geeks and Gamers or Star Wars Girl, who I really like. I'm not saying that I disagree with them necessarily. I do on some stuff. I just don't. I don't want to get caught up in that, and I wanted to kind of just talk about how I approach things, whether it's on Twitter or YouTube or whatever social media. And when I'm discussing Star Wars, it's not that I don't think that Hollywood has a a political agenda. I think we've reached a point now where I think it's pretty obvious that they do. And I'm not even saying that it's good. What I'm saying is we're not even at the point where that's the issue. Because at the end of the day, the political stuff, and when the studios come out and they make a big issue about, say, race or something, or they make a big issue about gender or something or whatever, that's one thing, and that may hit people the wrong way or the right way or whatever. But I'm not even, I don't go there mostly because they're not even at a place where that's, I'm not going to dignify that with a response, because whether you go down that road or not, you can, if you're skilled enough and you're a good enough writer and you know what you're doing, you can make that still lead to a good story. But they don't. You know what I mean? The stories are bad. So why am I even going to worry about whether or not they switched a character's race, or they, I did a video about Obi-Wan now, possibly being bisexual, and to me, the Jedi shouldn't even be sexual, right? So the writing, it's not even about whether or not he's bi. It's just they shouldn't even really be sexual. They're supposed to be monks. They're supposed to be above giving into sexual urges, right? That was how I always perceived Jedi, and I thought that was kind of cool. They were beyond that. I thought that was kind of neat, because in our world, in the real world, that's really rare, borderline unheard of, right? And those that espouse that they're living the life of celibacy and this and that, oftentimes, as we well know, aren't really doing that. So to me, getting into all that Fandom Menace, I guess that's how it's being defined now, stuff, we're not even there. That would be great to have that as the main problem, but the main problem is just how terrible the writing is, and the stories, and the character development, and the stakes, and the tension, and the build-up. I think they do a disservice to us as fans on sort of really basic level writing and really basic level storytelling. And so I don't think I'm part of the Fandom Menace. I do, in the sense that I'm quite critical, And one follower, and I'll show a post that he sent me that I'm an asshole, and I kind of am an asshole about stuff, but I don't I don't see a way forward where we're going to, as fans that are disgruntled, that are upset about what they've done, achieve any kind of real good pressure on the studios to do better with their writing when we're focusing on the things that they're focusing on, if it is true that they are focusing on those things, which are of course the social political moves that they're making. And I've said this before. I tweeted, when Billy D. Williams played Harvey Dent, I mean, I didn't even think about it in Batman 1989. I didn't even worry about it. I didn't think about it till years later, when the studios and their people started making a big deal about race. I don't remember his name, but a really great actor played Kingpin and in Daredevil. What was his name? He's a really big, tall black guy. He's been in tons of movies. In Green Mile, he's really good in that. I can't remember his name. He died, but he was perfectly good. I never even really thought about it. I was like, oh yeah. It was kind of like, oh yeah, they cast that guy. That's cool. Like, you weren't like, oh my gosh, this black guy. And I think if you are that type of person, there's something there that maybe you need to think about, because you're focusing so much on the political agenda, which is their fault too, because they talk about it constantly. The studios never shut up about it, and their representatives never shut up about it. That's they're baiting you into focusing on that instead of the storytelling, and that's where I think I separate myself. And I'd love to hear from you guys what you think about that. That I do believe, from the feedback I'm getting, I do separate myself. I am bitchy. I am an asshole. I do complain about this IP, and I do complain about just generally movies and stuff and where they're going, and just they're crappy and they're not written well. But what do you think? Is should the focus be what they're doing social politically and how they're bringing that in, or should we just say to them, listen, let's not focus on that, but your story sucks, okay? You made Obi-Wan Kenobi a bisexual, but at the end of the day, whether Obi-Wan Kenobi was bisexual or straight, the Obi-Wan Kenobi show sucked. It sucks. It's crappy. That is secondary, tertiary, that's down the line for me in terms of just how dumb the writing and the B level budget and the porn parody level of costumes and everything else and special effects. So, what do you guys think? Am I on the right track here in terms of valid criticism and taking us down a path that's like possibly maybe going to put good pressure on if more and more people jump on board of this approach? Or do you think what I'm sort of seeing as what others are dubbing the Fandom Menace's approach of focusing on the social political side, which one do you think is more beneficial? And do you think I am a part of the Fandom Menace? Is it no longer defined properly? Am I defining it wrong? I'd love to hear what you guys think. This is a very interesting topic to me, and it did get quite a bit of response. And I just want to know what you guys think, and if I'm making any sense. And let me know in the comment section. Have a good day.